Hey guys, how's it going? It's Alexander Williamson here with the secret history living in your aquarium. Welcome. I know it'll take people a minute to find this live stream because I didn't put out an alert except for, oh, I don't know, a half hour ago or something. So most people probably didn't get an alert. I'm gonna walk downstairs and get my little tripod thing here. But how are you guys doing while people filter in? Goose Knot Maverick, how's it going? Kyle Keys, hello. Didn't get a notification, but I'm here. True to Roots. All right, thanks, True to Roots. Yeah, so I don't know. YouTube and their alert system, not really sure how they decide to let people know. I have been told that the way they do it is that they alert like 10 or 20% of people that are like live on your channel with you when you do go live. And then if those people come in and stay more than a few seconds, then they decide, okay, we're going to actually tell 50%. And then if from 50% a worthwhile number come in, then from there, you know, they alert more people. That's the rumor, anyhow. Speaking of rooms, I'm hoping tonight I can show you guys around my fish room downstairs a little bit, a couple new developments. Also, tonight I really want to answer questions if people have questions about their fish, their plants, and whatnot. Also, I've done some work on the tank upstairs, so it's just kind of like a mishmash thing tonight. But the other big news I have tonight. Hey, the Zen Ginger, how's it going? Jennifer, hello, welcome. New England Endler, hello. And Rico Di Gallo, hello. Come on in, the water's fine. So, I have an idea for a new segment. I'm going to announce that around 10 minutes in, just so that we get, so people are getting alerted, they know that this is going on. But I'm having a good day. I ran around, hit a lot of Seattle traffic. So my wife has been giving me crap about my beard that I grew out for No Shave November. I couldn't stand, I can't stand my teeth either. Just to between you and me and the internet. But yeah, since I got the lightning strike, it knocked out a ton of teeth, and then there's all this space here, so the gap's gotten worse, and there's all these molars up and below got knocked out during that. But exciting news is I think I have one or two more surgeries. I've had 17 I counted up today since the lightning strike for my teeth, and then back, and then some skin grafting or like lancing and drain, just gross stuff from burns. But I can feel like I'm in the home stretch, and I'm excited. So that's cool. And then the other thing is, so I have in here, let me flip this around for you guys. So I have this tank, that was upstairs. Look at all these pregnant shrimp. Anybody need some gold nebulas or malawa shrimp? They really are beautiful. I just put some food pellets in here about 30 seconds ago, and they're already all over it. Fish Tropic, what's up? Cindy, what's up? Come on in. The water's fine, as I was telling everybody. So I kind of want to start separating these malawa shrimp by which ones have blue tendencies and which ones have red tendencies. Everybody and their mother tells me that they could not have mixed with my Neocaridina shrimp. I don't know. Some of them are really blue. So we'll see. But also, I've got all these baby erythromicrons in here. You can see them in between all the freaking shrimp in here. I don't even know how many shrimp this thing can hold. Shrimp are really rewarding. They're pretty easy to keep. At least, the entry level species. And they're just interesting. They clean things. They don't harm anything. A lot of times they'll actually clean eggs for other fish and things. So that's nice. This tank has not had CO2 now for 6 months. There's some rasboras in here. These are those Phoenix rasboras. They're doing super well. And they've all grown up. They're full grown. But there's one of those baby erythromicrons. I've got, those are also known as emerald dwarf rasboras. And I've got about 20, no, about 30, I guess, 28 to 30 in there. And they're just hanging out. So in there, we've got 28 to 30 emerald dwarf rasboras. Sorry, no, that's moves around as I move. We also have these majorly full-grown tin winnies. One male, it appears, and all the rest are females. You can see how big their bellies are compared to the male. Um, and these are also known as gold ring danios. And then we have a couple stray of the Somfongzi rasboras that I really like. They light up really well, like full shimmers of the rainbow. And then the erythromicrons, as I was saying, those babies, they're really shy. Some of them have bent backs, and that's super common when you raise CPDs and erythromicron. Sorry, it's zoomed in, so it's going to be a little shaky when I move my focus. Also, just fed, so check out the Phoenix Rasbora. I think these guys are better than Chili Rasboras. It's just my personal opinion. They light up like electrically. And you guys can probably guess it's a live stream, so they're not lighting up as brightly as you would see them light up in person. But you can see, like, if you know how bright a red tiger lotus is, then you know, or dwarf tiger lily, whatever you want to call it, you'll know. Also, look at, just since I got on here like 30 seconds ago, look how many dwarf shrimp are just at the dwarf shrimp convention. Uh, I found out that using the word dwarf shrimp is bannable on YouTube, so I might get demonetized, and I'm not worried about that piece of it really. That's one of those long-nosed algae eaters. When you see they have, the only way I've been able to tell them apart while they're young, even though they get twice the size of other shrimp, the only way I can tell them apart, see this one back in here and there's one up here, is they have this long saddle. The females have this super long saddle that's very bold. You can see it here, here, and here on those shrimp. Whereas the Malawas have like a lighter shadow, and then the gold nebulas have a little white dot that's hardly even considered a shadow. Here's another one of the bigger ones. So they're all eating, chowing down, being little pigs, and I really want to sell some of these. You can see the ones with the blue, with the inclination to be blue, like there's a hue of one, but they'll get really blue some days and in some conditions. So, uh, yeah, so dwarfism is not allowed on YouTube in writing, I learned. So, like, it wouldn't even let me post, like, when I said, uh, dwarf baby tears, I had to say teeny Cuban baby tears or something like that, or tiny Cuban baby tears, uh, because it just demonetized it and then flagged it instantly. So that's frustrating. I mean, it's literally the animal's name on paper. Here we got a pregnant one. That is a Malawa shrimp. And look at the blue on these ones, the stripy guys. It's just so intense that to me I'm like, where did they get that blue? Like, they were in here with a bunch of blue shrimp. Anyways, interesting. Hey Alex, what would you think is the best temperature for plants? Well, for most plants, I would say the best temperature is probably about 72 degrees with lots of water flow, generally. Um, Now, I think some plants that's different. Lilies and plants that live exclusively in the shallows, so like Bucephalandra and Anubias, those plants that live right at the surface of the water and not like in dense beds of grass and things, um, they can take up to 78, 80 as a full-time temperature, and it's no big deal. Uh, Really, I don't think it matters that much on temperature. I'd worry more about your fish. However, it does, temperature does affect evaporation, and it can change their uptake in fertilizers and things like that. But I don't know. I would say that probably 76 is my ideal temperature, because then you got the other um, the other end, the warm and the cool, will both tolerate it. And somebody made a comment that I have angelfish, which like it at like 80 to 84 degrees, or 78 to 84, let's say that. Now, they can take down to 72. I wouldn't keep them like that. It stresses them out and they won't live as long. But, I have them in there with Panda cories, which come from 68 to 72 degree water. And so we compromise around 75 or so, 76 upstairs, and somewhere around there seems fine for all the plants and stuff, especially if you have any CO2 or fertilizers or root tabs. If you have all that, great. But if you don't, then, any one of those things will help. Uh, but it kind of all works in junction. That is an oddly blue Malawa. Do you feed color enhancing foods? No, I don't. And there were Blue Dream shrimp in here for the longest time with them. And I swear I saw Blue Dream shrimp with weird colored eggs that I've never seen before. These clear eggs. And for a while there were some that were really, really blue. And I don't know if they just simply mimic the blue dream shrimp that are in there, that were in there, or what. But when I've put them aside, like upstairs in a bowl, and had them breed together just to see what happens, they come out all blue together. Like here's another one, and then yet let's take it to. I don't want you guys to get dizzy. Hold on. Let's take it over here, and these shrimp all have like a red orange color to them. And this too dark for you guys to make them out here. This is a much darker tank, but yeah. So that tank that we were just at, I'm gonna be redoing, and it's gonna be not CO2, but it is gonna be high tech in that twin star light on there. A 24-inch twin star is a great light. I mean, awesome light. Gives things more than enough light to carpet if I want, without the without all the CO2. And then here I actually have the CO2 ready to go, a big 20-pound canister. But this tank has just gone cuckoo wild, and I ravaged it by taking everything I wanted out of it and putting it into the other tank upstairs. So I want to refine it. Also, it hasn't had CO2 running. So like all the Rotala and Bacopa, Ludwigia, all that stuff is just in its most boring state. And I just made a video that I'll be uploading soon about how I took like a plant like this that looks like no big deal, and upstairs it'll be turning bright purple or orange, or you'll see its true colors, which that's kind of fun. So there'll be a video at the beginning that I'll upload probably tonight or tomorrow, and then we'll do another one in like a month and do a compare and contrast what CO2 and bright light does. Speaking of Panda cories, this is a tank that has about, I don't know, 15 of them or so, 12, probably 12 of them. Also, it has my lemon pleco babies. Now, this is a really dirty, moldy tank, and I don't care. I mean, that's fine. It's a tank that I like to show people that you can have algae take over. And aesthetically, as long as you don't care aesthetically, it's fine. So in this tank, we've got like a furry sponge filter. We've got a woolly mountain. Let me get out of the way of the reflection's hard. Sorry about the water stains too. But it looks like a Muppet. It's like a Muppet tank. So kind of interesting the way that has worked out. It's just really colonized a lot of the tank. And, so there's another, oh wow, you guys can't see it at all. There's another rock compared to the rocks that are getting colonized by the algae. All right, guys, so I was going to tell you what exciting news I have. So, I'm doing a new segment, I think. And the new segment is going to be on the channel. I'm hoping, I don't know if I can do one a week. It might be one every 2 weeks. It really depends on how edited things get. If I do maps and I do cuts and we have footage of fish and things, like ideally that's what I would love to do. It's just time equals money equals like I'm not working on another project. So I might have to save some of my favorite territories for like a big stepping stone will be 10,000 subscribers. When we hit that mark, it's like I've been on YouTube actually 12 years, but as a fish exclusive channel, I deleted most of it. Well, is it 12 years? I guess it's since 2008, whenever that was, like one of the first years of YouTube. Um, yeah, so 9 years or something like that. Um, but yeah, so it's exciting to have gotten the fish channel now. It's been around for 3 years. I think all the videos from 2.5 years now are still up, so that's cool. I kind of got rid of the really bad early ones that were done on are just a terrible like webcam. But I would like to step it up. I feel like 10,000 is a good mark. I really would like to get a new camera, like for webcam stuff, set up kind of like a desk in here or something, but somewhere where we can actually see fish in the background, or do like a webcam that's relayed to my tanks. And that's all to say that I want to do a new series, and it's going to be called something like Know a Tributary or Know a Basin. Something like that. Those aren't very catchy, but that's what the idea is. And basically, so for instance, we could say today we're focusing on the Orinoco Delta, and we're gonna go over 80 fish in an hour or whatever. And just kind of briefly touch on them, talk about the similarities of the fish, talk about the the politics and the natural history of the region. So, maybe palm oil plantations in Borneo are tearing down the forest. It happens. And maybe that's causing silt in the water. So the catfish specifically are doing okay because they have sensors that can see in the dark, per se, but the rest of the critters there can't. So we're going to go over things like that, or how in the Xingu River, the Brazilian government has dammed up part of that river, or the Rio Catapa, or the Rio Negro, or the Meta River, Meta River, and how the corridors with the Panda corridors are from there. All those kind of things. I think will be really cool. I don't know. Am I totally off track here, or do you guys think that would be a cool segment on the show? I feel like it gets back to the roots of the show, but like I'd like to start with like Lake Inle because I've had several tanks of Lake Inle fish. But I mean, you could talk about celestial pearl danios, sun danios, the little blue ones that look like they kind of look like little neon blue tetras, but they don't have any red on them, or celestial pearl danios, emerald dwarf rasboras, uh, betta species. There's I think the betta falx might be in there, and then all the way we could take a look at the large species. But in Lake Inle, it's a really fascinating lake because it's been cut off from the Western world for 150 years, really. The British were in there before that, but it was a pretty brutal area to rule. It was very tribal and long time held ethnically aligned governments, and then the British came in and kind of picked a side to favor with, and ran that for a while. Then they got their independence. World War II happened, and beyond all this, like Lake Inle and some of the mountain areas, nobody even went to those areas really from the outside. It was all Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Myanmar that would even know anything about it. And it's got a really interesting culture of people, that really rely on the lakes. Same could be said. We could do Lake Victoria, Tanganyika. The size of the area we're looking at, like that's like I wanted to do a standardized unit, like maybe a water basin or a drainage basin, uh, because that kind of makes it like it can go across like country lines and things if it needs to. And I think we'll be mostly looking at aquarium fish and maybe some like monster fish or some famous fish if we know what they are from food or from, like paddlefish or oarfish, something that's kind of crazy like that. But that's my idea for a series. So if you like that idea, comment on the video afterwards, if you could, on like which regions you'd like to see. I think it'll be really fun to try to dig up like southern China, like something like the Zhenggu River Delta, or um, maybe just Ecuador's Amazon rainforest, like what's up in that corner, the Colombian rainforest, where the Meta River is, that has all the cooler species, cooler water species of plants and animals. And then we can kind of get into that a little bit. UG Aquatics, what's going up? Uh, the Loach guy, hello. Shelby Ray Lane, hello. Zen Ginger, yayo. Cody Son, hello. Oh, Derpy Beta, I like that name a lot. Alan, do you have any plants that you got a tiny portion of by accident and grew out? Yes. So I have to say, you guys, I am sorry. I think. I think I'm sorry. I might not be sorry. But I want to show you guys this plant. I had been under the impression that this stuff was Limnophilia bellum because when I got it, it had these purple splotches on it, and the leaves were nowhere as needly and spindly as they are. So, what it is, and if you guys know what this plant is, help me because I've talked to some of the best experts in the hobby, and they're like, I don't know, kind of looks like Purensis, or kind of looks like this or that. Like, here's actually Sao Paulo Purensis red right there that I got from JS. But yeah, also check out the giant. So these are short nose algae eating shrimp, way more peaceful than a monos. That's what I was showing you downstairs. But they change color as they move on the plant. So right now it's got a stripe down its back that looks like this is Kabamba furcata, and it looks like it. Like while it's eating on the plant, it's turned out and it looks like it. This one, while it's upside down, it will turn different colors. See how dark that line down its back is? So it's just like the shadow of the plant. And it's got lines down the side. Now we'll ignore them for a minute, but when they move around, if they go onto another plant, they'll turn another color very quickly. It's not like super bright chameleon colors, but those are the short nose algae eaters from Aquatic Arts. Also, I wanted to thank you guys again. Thank you so much for using all the codes at Aquatic Arts. If you ordered something and you used the code that was on their website rather than the codes that I posted, you can always give them an email and let them know. They're still waiting to see if anyone did that because that's going to get put into a giveaway for Christmas, basically. I'm handling that. They just give me they basically give me a number, and then I'll say number 48 one, and then they'll say, okay, well, on our Excel spreadsheet, number 48 is, and they'll give me the email. So that way I don't have everyone's personal business and all that. So, and we did that last Christmas. The Christmas before was the first year, and then we've done it 2 summers now. So we've done it 4 times. This will be the 5th time. Aquatic Arts has just been a really good partner. They've hooked me up with a lot of the fish I have. But speaking of plants that I got on accident. This one. Aqua balls, what is up? Come on in. Hey, let's see if this shrimp's gonna turn colors at all yet. Yep, we're getting pink now. You guys see the pink on the saddle? We're getting pink and orange instead of just that line on its whole side. So that's pretty cute. But yeah, this plant right up here. So as it grows taller in CO2 light, highlight, it gets gold ribbons down the dark green leaves. It gets dark ribbons down the lime green leaves. And then it gets peach and pink leaves and bronze leaves elsewhere with like gold or bronze lines running through it. I've never seen it really grown out in an aquarium setting or an aquascape. I see the arculata, Ludwigia arculata, that's here with the narrow leaves or needle leaf Ludwigia, sometimes it's called. But I've never seen that before. And I literally started with one strand of it. I think it could be like Purensis or Hygrophila australia or australis. It could also be there's an Afghan version or a Pakistani version of Pogostemon that I was looking at. But I really don't know. And if you look closely, what makes it very odd too is the leaves don't grow two at a time or four at a time. You know, like Pogostemon has usually like four nodes. Bacopas have two nodes and then two more next to it, that kind of thing. But this one literally just has one random leaf that pops out wherever the heck it feels like. Just like this Sao Paulo, um, I can't ever say it. It's like Kawidungao. It starts with a K. It's a long word. Maybe somebody knows how to spell it out. Does anyone here have water wheels in their aquariums? The plant looks cool, but I don't think they can be bought. I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry. Like a little water wheel. Is that a slang name for a type of plant I don't know about? Any case. These little angels are going to be interesting. Aquaballs just reinstalled my CO2 tank. Gave me a little hard time. Just leaked a lot, of course, but I just got it down. No worries. Yeah, my CO2 tanks, when I put them on, they leak, especially if I forget the grommet that they leave on the actual. They leave like a wool washer that is supposed to help the seal, but I don't need one. I have a rubber one built in. If you guys are curious about any gear, I kind of have in the description usually. Like, this is my favorite, hands down, all time favorite regulator and solenoid. So you can put it on a timer. It can be electric. It goes up to real high pressures. It's the same one that's on the 20 pound tank. This is a little 2.5 pound tank. And you can control the flow really easy here by just turning that knob down there. And it gives you the high pressure and the low pressure. It's $54. That's it. And I've tried $300 ones and whatnot, and some have worked about as well, but that's worked better. Now, as for diffusers, just while we're talking about it, that diffuser right there was $6.99 at Petco. I bought it as a replacement for their little mini kit. It can handle full pressure CO2, just like you'd have, 50 to 100 pounds per square inch, whatever your setting is on your regulator. And it just needs the tubing that can hold that, because the air tubing sometimes can't. By the way, my lemon pleco that's looking more like an orange creamsicle pleco, he is really getting ready for babies in here. He's tried to trap the female a few times. I've also caught from downstairs my Venezuelan Corydorus, my Corydorus venezuelas. They are super skittish, but they're a cool looking fish, and they're starting to finally color up. The ones I bought from Aquatic Arts, also the females, are less colorful, but you can see how when they get older, and I don't know, it could just be when they were wild caught, this is how they look. They're very pretty. That's one of the wild ones right there too. And then we've got all these panda cories. So we've got eight. So we've got 14 Corydoras hanging out in this tank. We've got five angelfish. It'll probably get pared down to maybe two or three, depending on what comes out where. I would love it if some of these colors remained in his, or actually I think that's a her. She's got a very triangular shaped head, whereas some of the other ones, like this guy, has got a big notch in his head. So probably a male. Chasing the other one, that's probably another male. Does this guy have a notch? Maybe. This guy, I think he's definitely like, I think I have a lot of males on my hand, but this one's hard to tell. He's had the attitude of a male, but he doesn't have a real thick notch. So we'll see as he grows out. But I'd love to get these beautiful, fin colors and just the way they flow and the delicacy. Delicacy? I'm not eating him. How delicate they look, spreading out. I don't really want to mix them with these. I think that would end up into some weird color mishmash, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It kind of just depends on how it all shakes out. I'm not afraid of raising up a brood that I just give away just to see how it turned out. But yeah, so all the way back for those of you paying attention, um, that mystery plant that we were talking about that's in the back grows relatively quickly with highlight. It's like I said, only one leaf comes out at a time. Doesn't really have a crown to speak of, except for they start angling upward. It's not normal like most stem plants, as if when you cut it, it does not turn into a new sprout, which then will grow. It actually just keeps growing straight with one path. It just gives up. It's not like stem plants usually are, where you get two starts. Also, Alan Bauer gave me this incredible, as I said last live stream, this incredible Ludwig or Laganandra Meboldi silver powder or powder silver. Look at it. It looks like metal. Like it really does. I know Bucephalandra and other plants have kind of that effect, but this looks like crumpled like aluminum or maybe chrome or something. And then the Laganandra meboldi pink from Europe, which is different from the pink that America sees, and the red. You can see what the low tech leaves kind of ended up showing us, which is more like a green with a metallic bronze hue on it. Down below, you can see that insane bronze with pink and green somehow. It's like that paint job on cars that is a color changing one. Also, the Bacopa that I thought was Bacopa, I think it's giant Bacopa that Alan sent me. It might not even be Bacopa because look at the size of the leaves now that I've got it under lots of CO2 and heavy ferts and things. It's very possible that it is not, in fact, a Bacopa like the other ones. There's also a plant that I thought was a Bacopa, but it's got a red stem, so it's definitely not a Bacopa. It's maybe like a cardinal plant that was just so freaking tattered and abused, that happened. So there's all sorts of plants in here right now that I made a film of. Right here we've got Rotala pearl that has been living in the shadows. Just poor pearl plant. But you can see it may come back to life. It's got curly Q, like it looks like cornrows or something. The way or Brussels sprouts, I guess maybe. But it's these tight patterns the way it grows in these stalks. Also, can I grow Rotala indica as a background plant? Oh, totally. That's what I did it back here. That's what I'm doing back here. This is actually Rotala Vietnam over here that has the red stem on it. It's called Rotala Vietnam red. And then here is Rotala Vietnam purple. And then I've got, and it isn't purple yet. It was just in low light. So I'm looking forward to that turning a brilliant purple. The AR Mini, look at the roots it's putting out. It wants this nutrition so bad. We've also got Ludwigia ex lacustris growing here and here. We've got the needle leaf Ludwigia. And then we've got, look at this pink panther crypt back here. It's doing so well. Or pink flamingo. They're the same thing. One was started in Japan. One was started in the U or in Germany. Then we also have teeny tiny silver dusted all this boost over here and Anubius, but we have a dusting of the white boost. It's probably like albinism, but because Bucephalandra is so metallically inclined, it looks like it has a layer of dust on it, magic fairy dust on it. You see that reflecting there, like gasoline and stars in a galaxy put together. That when it's on a white leaf, it looks really crazy. So those are pretty cool. I got those in those tissue cups from Petco, believe it or not. Let's see here. Somebody asked, do those shrimp only breed in freshwater? Yes. So these are the algae eating long nose shrimp that I'm showing you guys here. They're called Japanese short nose shrimp, but they're in the long nose shrimp family. Make it nice and confusing, why don't they? They are freshwater breeders. Now, they don't do it a lot. They're very, very new to the hobby. Aquatic Arts is probably the first person to have brought them into the United States. I got them 6 months ago. I've had maybe 4 born, but I've seen them berry up. And so I know it's possible, but I think maybe they want really high TDS or really low TDS, or I don't know for sure. Do you know the Latin on that Abigail? Is that Utricarius? Utric. Uh, Man, I am not talking right today. Utricularia species. I don't know that Latin off the top of my head. I'm sorry, Jeremy. Um, Safe to say I have no idea what that is. Yeah, thanks, guys. Um, let's see here. Yeah, the texture on that plant, and when it now that so hold on. I just turned off the pump. So let me reach my hand in here. Don't reach your hand in your tank unless you're clean. I did wash my hands before this. But it's grown pretty quickly. I used starts about this tall and I planted maybe 20 of them. I could cut these again and I have to restart them though from very short. Um, there's some pieces that have a very dark green in them. And it almost looked like cyanobacteria, and I was like, no, but it wasn't. It was all gravy. It's just the plant piling up on itself. You see how tall they get. But with the pump going, when those grow to the water height, which is not too long from now, I'm going to cut them probably another 4 times and try to get, a dense wall planted about that wide since they're so small and they don't need a long root ball. Um, I'm going to plant those, if you can see back here a bit, I'm going to plant those all back in here. And then I want these guys to come up. So my whole idea of what I was going to do in this tank has kind of gone to the birds. Also this Cypress hellfry, or hellfairy, however you want to say it. I don't care. I'm not gonna say, look at you, weirdo. You don't know how to say it. Doing really crazy good. It's grown all the way out of the water already here. Um, and then yeah, so and the other thing is the Bobitis hedulata is growing so fast. You can tell when it's growing really healthily because it turns into like fiddleheads, like a normal fern. You get these little spirals. That means it's growing really fast, really well. Here is some Bucephalandra that actually has lost its metallic shine. So I'm wondering if it's getting too much light for this species. I don't know if that's a thing. I'm gonna have to look that up before I say that that's what's happening. But then, as I was saying, the white uh, boosts. Check this out. It's like a red Godzilla albino. So it has the red stems, but then half the leaves are white and metallic. But it needs a lot of light because these little leaves, they get very fragile and they can't photosynthesize nearly as effectively. So they need that CO2 and that strong light. You can't low tech those. But yeah, so that's what's going on in this tank. I don't know if you guys are bored on this tank yet, but earlier somebody told me you had a boyfriend that looked like a girlfriend that I had in February. No, this guy put him in here. When I put him in here, he was a holy terror. He went from side to side, front to back, rammed into the angels, rammed into the rocks, rammed into the glass. He was just all over the place with his newfound space to run instead of being in the 40 bow front. So he just took off and was all over the place. Now he's calmed down, but uh, as much as I love Alan, I love you, Alan, buddy. And he gave me this super rare silver Lagonandra eboldite silver powder or powder silver, whatever you want to call it, metallic silver, and a very healthy portion of it. Thanks, bro. It's already growing crazy new roots. Unlike the pink variety, that is not growing crazy new roots. It's just kind of like this leaf has grown since it's been in here, but it's not going nuts. It's unlike the silver has, I think, enough green that it really photosynthesizes really well. But I highly recommend for small tanks, if you're trying to do high tech stuff, I really truly recommend either the Twin Star if you don't want to fiddle with settings and things. And you go in, I mean, if you have a store that has them, it's always best. But I think they give a really nice color, a good balance between warm and cool. But you can't play with, you can get dimmer switches, but you can't play with the reds and the blues and the greens individually right now. Now, there's somebody who's been talking about putting something along those lines into the market. I don't know how that works, if that's a software or hardware change, but hopefully that's coming. Man, I can't believe those are the same plant originally in the wild. It's just crazy. Um, and so I would recommend, and it's linked. Oddly enough, I happen to link different things to different videos, like I just have them preset. Oh, also my purple flame sword. It doesn't look super purple here, but it's doing really, really good. I want to get more of those. Yet again, I mean, new leaves growing out of the one that Alan sent me. And we have some crypts that are still kind of a mystery, but they're getting real bubbly and wavy. And then the underside is getting some banding on it. So we'll see. This Cryptspiralis gets fairly big. I mean, it'll get as big as the rock. And then I might move it to another tank or sell it or whatnot. But I just, while this tank is in its magic phase, the first few months of all the substrate and stuff, and while I'm trying to get the carpet to grow, and it's starting to take, you can see it's starting to connect, and that's just with 1 cup of Monte Carlo and 1 cup of baby tears. Monte Carlo is in the front, so that the bigger leaves are close, and then it plays a bit of an optical illusion. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it plays a bit of an optical illusion in that the small leaves are in the back. So just like trees or houses look smaller in the horizon, it looks like it's the same plant that's just teeny tiny once you get back there, if that makes sense from like this angle. So it's just a little aquascaping tip. Then we've got some funky little plants that I forget the name of, and I'll have to wait till they grow out. Creeping Charlie's back there. I always like that one. And then Nuri watermelon is another one I love. Beautiful. Look how silver this leaf is right here. Just beautiful. Oh, you know what? I see a Loganandra Eye pink starting back there. So I cut a root. I told Alan about it because we were going to trade. I see two pieces that have not grown back that just rotted right away. But it looks like, let's see if we can find it. Yeah, I can see it. It's a whole leaf. Look at that. The other thing about this tank is I'm getting protein film on it, which has never been a problem in any of my tanks. So I got to figure that one out. I think it's just new tank syndrome kind of thing. Some of the frozen food and flake food has a lot of fat in it and a lot of protein, and that could be what's going down. All right, so in here, what do we got going on? Well, we don't have the Siamese algae eater in here eating anything. We have the cribs up here. This one's clearly not spawning. She's not colored up at all. And then we have the albino tiger barbs, which I love. Um, let's see here. Hit that like button, guys. Thank you, Aquaballs. I appreciate that. Um, yeah, Persicaria Sao Paulo, Calgeonium. Uh, it's one of those two. That's what I was trying to figure out. Oh, water wheel does. Yeah, 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 yeah. The small carnivorous plant. Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, that's one of those bladder warts or spleen warts. I don't know. They drive me nuts personally because they catch a lot of the little teeny food that I think fry. And you guys know by now, if you've watched my channel a while, I mix weird types of fish together, but I want them to be able to have babies. Like that's the end goal is making a weird mix and then them succeeding in having their babies. There is a crib that is saying, I am all that and a bag of potato chips. Look at her and her belly. I bet she has a man that's going to come out and match that purple or fuchsia in her belly any minute here. Uh, these two guys don't care, apparently. They just pieced out. Here comes another female who's starting to turn purple instead of fuchsia. So she's got different colors. And in the same tank, same speed. Oh, here's the male that wants to match up. He's ready to go if she is too. Man, it's fun to watch these fish. You remember I had puffer fish in here too. But if you look, their view is so obstructed by crazy, there's guppy grass, there's racks and, bulbitis. I mean, here we got one of the males hiding right there. I also introduced some Malawa shrimp in here. They're probably all just food at this point. I put them in last night. But they've taken over every tank that I have, which is fine because they don't take away from the Neocaridina or anything. Um, but yeah, so we'll see if they can somehow eke out a survival in here. I did put 3 pregnant females in here, which will be very interesting. As I was saying though, that the as I was saying, oh, Pete, what's up on the other side of the world? What is the best shrimp to start out with that will go in a guppy tank partially planted? I think that neocaradinas are always a good answer. I think Malawa shrimp are another incredibly hardy shrimp. A mono shrimp are okay. They get bigger. They're not as colorful or social, and they don't breed in your tank. So I would pick your favorite Blue Dream or, Red Really or Bloody Mary, or pick a color you like and a style you like, whether that's stripes. You can also get the look at how much colors in that guy's back fin, and he'll actually start getting the rosettes, the leopard print that she's displaying. If she gets stripes, he'll get stripes. And this is these are the only cribs in the world that are of this pedigree, I guess would be the way to say it. These fish, they are half Pulcher and half Lacunja Upper Falls. So can you guys see all those little white dots swimming around that the little fish are eating? Some of those are little bugs. And when you get the bladder wart or the spleen wart, things like that, it really does eat up a lot of those things in your tank. And so that's why I'm not super pro, like you were saying, the water wheel or the bladder wart, that kind of thing. Yeah, if you guys can figure out what that plant would be, let me know. I think I put a picture of it on Instagram, maybe too. Um, the other thing is if you guys want a good light that's inexpensive, I think that the Fluval Stingrays are pretty decent for a smaller tank. I think that Twin Star and then followed by Fluval or maybe Tide. You could switch those around. Twin Star puts out so much light, it's like a tanning bed, but it will grow any plant you want. You just put it up and it's there. And it's a pretty mellow blue light, but it does have a warm component. It's all LEDs that are pastel colors. So that's really nice. And I think it's I want to say it's like 6500K or something like that, 67. Does Rotala in okay, we already talked about that. Does Rotala indica look good in a background of a Dutch aquascape? Beta Good Junior, I would say that it does. Um, but you might want something with smaller if you're doing like CO2 and highlight, I would get something smaller petaled. So I would get like a Rotala butterfly or a Rotala purple Vietnam. This has been really laggy because it's been growing in low light, no CO2. But can you see how small those leaves are? That will really make your tank appear like everything in the far background is so teeny. And then you can use the bigger Ludwigias, Rotalas, whatever you want to use, closer, and it'll look like it's the same thing but goes back and gets teenier and teenier and teenier. You can add like limnophilias up here and Pogostem and erectus or Pogostem and hellfry, and Ludwigia repens or Ludwigia glandulosa, which has like that super red color underneath the leaves. Where did I thought I had some of that in here. Oh yeah, right here. It's real dense when you grow it a certain way. AR is another one, even if you're not in a high tech tank. But you can use like big AR and then go to mini AR and then go to pink flamingo crypts on the hillside. If you're really trying to do like a diorama, you could have all those things with their bigger size up front. So the leaves look big. Your eye assumes it's the same thing as it gets smaller. So that's one option. Another option is with Dutch aquascaping, you're really looking at texture. So you're planting a clump, and you might want to plant a clump that then comes down, and like maybe you plant from above an S shape of it. And then here you have a straight line, and here you have a straight line of another kind that's dissecting it, and you want to trim it very regularly and very tightly. Um, so you can use it if that's what you want to do. If you're all about the lines and keeping it tightly trimmed and doing like a carpet or sculpting like a little shrubbery type shape out of it, you can definitely do that. You can train it quite a bit. Now check this out. The shrimp that we keep checking in on, he is full on purple and pink, as is his friend, but darker because he's under it. He's the one still has a highlight on his back that looks like the exact same color as the Cabamba furcata. His legs look like the Cabamba furcata. They're just like mean, lean, peaceful. They don't bug other people, other fish like, like some of the shrimps, like Amano shrimps, will hog food. They're just mean. They're just jerks, and these guys don't. So, does Rotala indica? Okay, blah blah blah. Rotala rotundifolia. Yeah, that has a rounder leaf. It's going to be a little bit bigger. I would put that in the mid ground if I were you and keep it trimmed. Aqua balls, enjoy your coffee. Let's see here. Bring me a big mug full of aqua balls of coffee aqua balls. Uh, for what I've researched, indica looks like Rotala bonsai. Yeah, it all depends on how much CO2 you're using and how intensely. Let me try to get caught up with these questions, you lovely people, because I said I was going to answer questions, and what kind of jerk am I if I don't do such a thing? Um, Also, if you didn't hear earlier, my new idea for a segment, which I'd love your comments on after this, is after we're done being live, is the idea of taking a river tributary, a large lake, so Victoria, Tanganyika, um, maybe even the Great Lakes or Salt Lake. That'd be a quick one. Brine shrimp. But take a look at it, and then we'll talk about some of the issues. So ecologically, socially. So it's not just fish; it's the story of how this lake has gotten there. So maybe there's illegal diamond mines that drain in there and silt up the lake. Maybe the cichlids have started evolving brighter patterns because you can't see them through the silt. Or the catfish, the Synodontis, are showing up better. Or maybe everything of a certain size is just getting outfished, and that's that. And it's gone, and something else is filling in its place. We know cichlids evolve within 30 or 40 years. To me, that is why it is so darn interesting to see how these things are changing, and if we pick a river in the Amazon, there's so many, it's so huge, it's not just one river. We would pick like the Meta, the Rio Negro, the Von Nuys, the Zengu, something like that, and just really get into it and talk about, okay, there's illegal gold mining and logging going on here. Borneo, Sumatra, okay, there's palm oil. Don't buy products with palm oil in it if you don't want your betta habitat scorched to the ground. Same with Bucephalandra. That's why I really appreciate people like Han Aquatics. There's a discount code in the description, by the way. People like uh, Buy Pet Shrimp, Eric Lucas. He's been trying to switch to non wild caught. Aquatic Arts is doing all tissue culture or U.S. bred at the behest of AGA, Karen Randall, Crystal Castleman, some of the people in the hobby that are kind of, the gold standard for knowledge, the Rubicon that you must pass to say that you understand an issue. But this is a secret history all linked to your aquarium. So I would like to talk about, why the Congo River. There's a lot of cool fish there. There's the Congo tetra. Beautiful fish. We can breed those in captivity. Now, the puffers, some of them are not very good efficiently wise at breeding them in captivity. An interesting thing, there aren't a ton of snails in the spots where they catch a ton of the puffers in certain cases. So, just interesting stuff like that. It will take a lot of time and research to get that stuff down and correct. And of course, I will leave things out. But I'd love it if you guys could start me a list of rivers or lakes that you'd like to know. And literally with like Lake Victoria or a lake where you guys know, a Silawese, some of the lakes there that there's a billion fish in, or something down in South America like the Pantanal region in general. You can group it if that makes sense. Rio Tapajo or something like that. In Mexico, we can spread out a little bit more. So maybe we say like the whole western Gulf Coast and then inland Mexico, whatever. But I want to talk about all those issues that are affecting why we get things, why we don't, you know. Wow, $12 for a Siamese algae eater fun. Thank you, Alan. You are the light of my life. You light up my senses like what in a forest? Like a tree in the forest? Night? I don't remember. Come on, John Denver, help me out. let's see here. Um, Ginger, you sweetheart. Oh, my panda loaches. Ah, I have something to report. I will. Let's go down there. Yeah, if they were breeding well, you'd all know about it. Do you remember? Do I recommend oak trees for shrimp food? Sure. Oak trees, maple trees. Just make sure it's dried out. The chlorophyll's out of there. Like it's a tan or a brown, crunchy leaf, and that there's not mildew on it. You could boil it, throw it in there for like 30 seconds, and call it good. Don't bleach it. Yeah, it's not good. But yeah, so let's see here. Ginger, thank you so much. You know, these super chats really mean a lot. I love the cribs, she says. $20 super chat from Ginger Graves, who I got to meet in Tennessee. I didn't get to meet Bob Kaler, who's out there more too, Kentucky maybe. Uh, she says, I love the cribs. I have them because I saw them on your channel. They are such great parents and so pretty. They are a laugh riot, as my grandmother would say. You know, like a bat out of hell. With bees in their bonnets about running around with those babies. They're just so much fun. I love them. I want to introduce you guys to more animals like that. But one animal that's very like that I have introduced you guys to are the, let's get this turned around, bum 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 panda loaches. Now, we've got 7 in here right now. There were 9. One jumped out, climbed out actually, and it was really unfortunate. He climbed up uh, a stick that was like this, a net that I had set to dry over the tank. He climbed out and he got on top of the light and just cooked himself. Because they have like little feet flippers. They're almost like mud puppies or something, or mud skippers, I should say. The males have these front fins that are pretty severe. Also, look at this. These are Lucas Whoa! Did you see its rostrum just go like alien on us and split side to side? That was... Ah! It's doing it again! I don't think I've seen that. What the hell? Are we all gonna die now? Is it gonna take over Earth and we are gonna be its... we will be its pets? But the point is here that the blue dreams started to mutate into Riley blues, which is interesting. This one's doing it a little bit, but not really. Oh, yay! She's pregnant. Should throw her we need to throw her a baby shower, just because. The panda loaches, though, I love them so much. These guys are 2 years old now. The only thing is, if you guys recall, these guys are all from one stream, and there are 2 streams that they live in, or one river system. I like this guy. His name is X, just because he's got a big X on his side. And the males have snake skin or tribal looking swirls and little markings on their foreheads, whereas the females, who are sensible and are hiding out there and don't want anything to do with me, there's 2 of them right back there. They are just, they've got bands. Look at this little shrimp. He's so cute. Look at that. Oh, here comes the little buddy. Yo, what up, shrimp? Big shrimp and eating fleas. Big shrimp and here's the middle-sized male. So yeah, some of these blues have actually started to turn kind of a purple or violet color, which is kind of cool. It's just interesting to watch what happens when you neglect to cull your tank super well. But some of these little guys, see these guys were born about a month ago, and like that one is gonna have awful color. I don't know who the male is, who's got the awful genetics and keeps knocking up all of my frickin' critters, but it's happening. Now the other blue ones you can see, I need to cull, but it breaks my heart. And I'm like, oh, I don't have that many of X, Y, or Z. But that one needs to go. The one on the rock right there, it's way too light. That one needs to go. Now they'll go into a tank that's gonna be like pearl color blue. That one needs to go. And then the ones with the Riley or really pattern, they're gonna be going up into this tank. And actually, can we see any right now? There are about 15 of them that have come from 3 broods. Uh, and some are like dark black, and some are super light. But we're letting them kind of even out, uh, mix it up. But oh, here, really quickly, don't run away, don't run away. So you guys know that I had the panda loaches in here, right? I had to drain this tank to carry it down here. I had to catch every fish. Uh, I moved the panda loaches 4 months, maybe 6 months before that, anyways. And I saw what I thought was a baby panda loach. And it had like cute little stripes. And I thought, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe that's just like one of the multi bar loaches or one of these guppies. But no, now I can confirm that one baby in all my years of trying, actually 3 or 4 babies have existed. None of them made it to adulthood. They all made it to juvenile age, and then I found them deceased. But one baby has been born and is full size. Ding, 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 ding. But I just, like, it's not really that exciting because I only succeeded with one. So, I don't know. Do I put him back with these guys? Or do I just let him keep thriving where he is? I'm scared that, like, they're so delicate. Let's see here. I have made some crazy colder shrimp in my plant tank. Cribs are really pretty fish. I agree. Petricola catfish. I know I want to get some of the mustard ones and some of the cuckoo ones from Aquatic Arts. I spent $250, which I don't have to frickin' spend. You know what? When I look with my own eyes, these shrimp actually are much higher quality than I'm giving them credit for as I'm talking to you. They actually look pretty good. But with the camera, I can actually make out like, you gotta go. Yeah, you. No, not you. You. You, come on. Hey, you. Sometimes it's hard to tell because, like, it's just a saddle that's causing them to look so crazy. But this guy, he's gotta go. Or she. She pregnant? She is pregnant. Now, this is a conundrum. Do I let her go? No, I think what I'm going to do is put her in with the baddest. There are still shrimp living in with the baddest in that little 5 gallon that Betsy gave me forever ago, the Devon tank. I miss Betsy. She's been into breeding her dogs, her Salukis, and I hope she is doing well, but I miss her. She's a sweetheart. Here's a guy who's not going to be colorful enough. And so we're going to throw him up here. Please don't get eaten. We'll find out right now if he's going to get eaten. Come on. Right to under the filter. That's where you got to go. Got lots of green dragons. I'm actually debating shipping these guys. They're a year old and they're stunted. So if anybody wants mini green dragons that don't seem to grow any bigger than this, let me know. They haven't grown in 6 months. And they did that in all of their tanks this brood. All my other ones, they've gotten all huge and unmanageable, and I've had to sell them and stuff. But there's just one brood I had that is itsy bitsy teeny weeny polka dot bikini. Here's another brood. So it's nice to see that we've got baby shrimp from 3 generations recently, at least. You know, this isn't the best color right here. It really isn't, but when, I don't know, does it stay? Does it go? I mean, Lucas would send that, he would keep that with this colony. I don't know, I just love that royal blue that those guys have, where it's so blue that it's like black. So I think I'll throw him up here too. I don't really expect these guys up in here to breed successfully very well. I just want them to exist, and they seem to do that. And sometimes they color up with just the different substrate, and they sort themselves out. Like it's all good. So that's kind of cool. Let's see here. Anybody else? All right, I'll stop culling shrimp in front of you guys. My pandas are getting bigger. I have 2 in one of my tanks. Yeah, if you can, try to get a big group of them. I mean, like 8 or more, because they love each other. They love to cuddle, cuddle puddle, and that's that. Wait, I was trying to do something here, and why won't you let me live my life? Zoom. Come a chameleon. You come and go. African lake loaches. I don't know a ton about them. I'll do some research. Most loaches are from Southeast Asia, like number wise of species. Do I acclimate my shrimps when I move them from one tank to another? Not on these tanks. These ones all have a TDS within 100 points of one another. They have a pH within 0.5 points of one another, if not like right on. And then they all share plants and bioloads that are very not bioloads. It's not the right word, but they've been inoculated by the same water. I switch out, I interchange the various how do you say that, filter media and plants and all that kind of stuff. What I was really hoping to show you guys is the baby Batis. So you guys recall I had Batis in here. I left them in here for 4 weeks, and then I said GTFO, and the Batis had to evacuate. It was sad. Women and children kicked out of their beds in the middle of the night and then moved to a wonderful tank full of planaria and delicious food, but they're still bitter about it at me. Look at these baby shrimps on the alder cones. That one's going to have terrible color. But they're usually here, right up in here somewhere. And I don't know where they is. They're very teeny. They are very teeny fish. And they will be. I've been feeding them baby brine. Look how big the female panda loach is, though, back there, if we can catch a peek of her, compared to those males. Those are both females back up in there. But, yeah. So, I don't know exactly how many Blue Dream shrimp are in this tank anymore, because I've been kind of harsh on selecting who gets to stay and who gets voted off the island. But, we've got some really dark blue, just beautiful. They're Lucas Bretz line, and then they've been refined for another 3 years. I just dropped my second little pole thing in. I've got a pole that I just used to prod random critters with. Come on, stop it. All right, there we go. I was really hoping, though, that the baby Batis would come out. They're just kind of shy. I know they're right in here somewhere underneath these plants, but we'll let them be. I got video of them that I can share with you. I just thought maybe they'd make a live appearance, and then we could pay them Screen Actors Guild comp rates, and the stream would be a real good one for them. One of their breakout performances. Let's see here. Let me read the questions. Mini green dragons sounds awesome. Yeah, they are kind of awesome. Ooh, jaguar cichlid is digging a massive pit in the 120 gallon. I love that. I really do love that. When you change the substrate, or if you take a hillstream species and you put it in a hillstream tank, watching those things just light up and, swim against the current and just act like they were evolved to act for thousands of years instead of just chilling. It's just great. I love it how it's a whole new behavior pattern that you'll see oftentimes. Other times they're real lazy and they don't do anything. I need to wash this tank again. We got diatom on the inside starting up. This is such a low-tech tank. Like, I have not changed the substrate in here. I think it's eco-complete, but I have not changed it in probably 3 years now. So I do need to do that. We're going to get away from this. Thank you so much to the super chattas. You guys chatta. I think it's quite some time before I am allowed. I'm not responsible enough to have memberships and little icons and so forth. But the super chat, the patronage, patronizing me, I love that. Toonstud, hello, you're in the house. He's in the house? Oh my gosh. Guess what? Ding, 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 ding. Ginger Graves is now a moderator. Feel no pressure to show up to any stream. Is anybody else dying to be a moderator? But as the channel has grown, as we hit that 10,000 mark, I could use a little help. If someone wants to throw out links or, just entertain the masses, fight tigers and lions and bears. Oh my. So, also going on, here is the purebred panda, black koi guppy. They said Endler, it's a frickin' guppy, I'm sorry. On the other side, not this divided, they just did this. I've crossed them with there's one female Endler that is the Lucas Bretz rainbow Endler, but I bred it for orange first for a few months. Hello, half-beak. I'm also getting a bunch more half-beaks, which I hope to move to the tank behind us. Yeah, with that wrench, I don't know what all power you have. I think you can hit people with it. So just so everybody saw that, Ginger gave me a $20 super chat, which I'm super grateful for. And then I gave her the power to banhammer any of y'all who be acting a fool. The females of this species are silver. The males have black, or like a deep bluish purple, really. And so when I cross them with the leopard Endler and with the blue Hawaiian Moscow originally they were from, what's his name? Lucas, I'm spacing, guys. I'm spacing. I want to say Frank Lucas, the gangster. But in any case, Bentley is where I got them. But look at these guys. They even have like little goldfish heads because of some sort of mutation that's going on. Get in focus. Look at that. Look at his little head. Have your half-beaks been breeding yet? No, they haven't. I need to put them in a different tank. And we're gonna admit a fish boo-boo that Alex did. I put them in a tank down yonder with that water that low. I put an aerator in there because I felt like it was just getting kind of stagnant with all the plants, even with two hang off the back filters. That's a Fluval 3.0 too, which is way too much light for this tank if it weren't for the duckweed. With the duckweed, I can grow like a normal garden under there. It's not Lucas Bretz. It is, I think Lucas is his last name. What the heck is his name? Anyways, he is the one who refined the blue Hawaiian Moscow guppy. And I can't think of his name right now. But Bentley found it. It was kind of thought to be a lost strain. And Bentley Pasco and or Pascal. And yeah, so I only have one female of those left. He only gave me two, and they were young. But back to the half-beaks. they jumped even with like this much. Like, I mean, look at that. It's it's more than my index finger. They were still able to jump and turn themselves into frickin' jerky, which is a bummer. Um, I do kind of want to start a pond, and I just want to hack everything down in here. The catfish have eroded the entire hillside. Uh, the there is there's no planaria in here, but there's 5 species of rare danios in here. Kyathip being the one that's not rare, and it's just all over. And then we've got some tin winnies that are pretty old now, and they're pretty big. We've got the Maytangensis Danianianios. We've got these red eye lemon tetras. We've got the Pseudomagil furcata. Luke Roebuck, thank you so much. Man, so hard to get off my mind, head, whatever. So then this is another type of green dragon I have. I don't know why they come out differently. Same mom and dad. I guess sometimes one gets it from... I got it from my mama. Uh, but they come out like a dark grayish green. And then they've got like light limey green fins. And then they've got this white to gray, just really cool, graceful long tail that I love. Yet again, these are a year old, and look at how big they are. They're just teeny, and I feed them very well. They have no excuse. Some of them, these are the other, this is the other brood, the green dragons that actually look like green dragons. Like they've got the green kind of army color. Also back in here, I hope you can see it, Thor's hammer, Rotala. It's a nice, or not Rotala. Gosh, sorry guys. Java. Thor's hammer. It's a nice rare one. It splits off into like Thor's hammer, the symbol in the old ancient runic alphabets. Here we've got another one of those slim ones. So I got quite a few of these dudes just chilling, and I need to figure out what to do. But this tank's just looking so like overgrown. Also, my pretty, even with all the shrimp in here, he started to fatten up like crazy. But I've got a few of these Honduran red points in here that are gonna like at some point they will snap and murder everyone. But yeah, thank you for stopping by Fish Tropics. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming by. If you gotta go, totally understand. In here, but yeah, let me know in the comments too what I should redo this tank into. I'm thinking of doing just the planted 3.0, eventually saving up enough money to get another light so I could grow like Atlantis and like Senegalis, Ludwigia, and just some of the harder ones. Oh, also, I forgot to tell you, so I got several betas. This one here, and then we've also got another one. Where is she? I've got a female that I got for $2 somewhere over here. And we've also got the long finned fancy angel blue eyes plecos. And I love them, and they have a cave, and they made bebes, and the bebes got eaten by the stupid Kyathit Danios. But yeah. So hopefully these betas and the bebes will start getting their act together and doing some of the breeding. Gotta get all of this gone. All of this gone. I don't mind at all the red root floater, but instead of trying to save it, I think I'm just gonna say F dat noise. Also, like I said, bunch of random quarries in here. Ooh, look at the half-beak just fought with the guppy. I've never seen that. It was odd. It like tried to wrestle a guppy. These are called wrestling half-beaks because they roll over their opponent, other males, and then they interlock and they fight. They fight it out. Also, there's Batis in here. The red one is right under that log back there. There's a colony of 5 Batis. Also, more of the little lemon tetras from the big tank upstairs. And yeah, so I'll probably be wrapping this up. But like I said, let me know what you think about my like Benoa district, kind of like the Colbert Report, or but for fish. You want a wrench? You can have a wrench too. UG Aquatics. Boom. The folks, those of you who've been with me since day one, or here for like a week and a half in a row, whatever. Either way, you get a wrench. You get a wrench. You get a wrench. So enjoy. Ban hammer the hell out of whoever you want. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't do that. I don't ban unless it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't ban ever, but I know YouTube bans. Oh, I got water. Ew, fish water. Ew, that's where they pee. Um, Sergio needs a home. Sergio needs a home. He could swim around this tank and be all happy. Instead, he sits inside the corner and wants to feel all crappy. He eats all up the babies, he chases after bubbles. All he does is get himself in trouble, so he has got to go. Sergey, you got a home, with other angels and so many things. You gotta pack your bags and get out of here. Sergio. Tunestead. I'm glad you enjoy the song. Ginger, you've been rocking with me for a long time, girl. Um, there's a few people that I do miss though. That Bob Kaler, I know he's busy. He's got his own Killa channel. Bentley, when I went and toured his Rainbow Room, and then he started his channel, and now he's all famous for his. I mean, he's got like 40 tanks, and it's beautiful. It's a testament to what you can build when you work in the tech industry and love fish and work 70 hours a week in the tech industry. Um, I think I'll take cheap fish though for me. I'm too much of a yeah. So I'll keep doing the cheap fish unless you guys say otherwise. Oh, also, last thing, if you stayed this long, please like, subscribe, share any of my 500 plus videos in the past that you think could help your friends, whether that's algae or they're asking, what do I do when my fish is dead and it won't wake up? Where do fish go when they die? I mean, people need to answer these things. That's why I'm here. So, yeah, feel free to share videos. Also, if anybody's like a Reddit wizard, throw some of this stuff on Reddit for me, please. I'd really appreciate that. That's like worth money to me. Like, because, there's like dark corners of the internet that I don't understand. I don't understand all this technology that surrounds me. I'll be a cyborg before I understand what the heck happened. I have toured Dean's Fish Room. Actually, if you go to Luke, no, not Lucas, he's been there too with me. But no, Dustin's Fish Tanks. When he toured Aquarium Zen, he toured Amazon Spheres and he toured Dean's Fish Room before Aquarium Co-op, I think. Yeah, or Aquarium Co-op had shown the rainbow fish and the angelfish. However, we got to tour, and I have a beautiful film of his whole room, his fry system, which Bentley got a tour. At the time, though, he didn't want to because we've got Joel, which is Corvus Osteen. We've got Bob Steenfott. We've got Corey from Aquarium Co-op. We've got Alyssa Bentley. We've got Bentley Pasco. We've got quite a few people in the area that are in our aquatic club. I mean, because we're from Vancouver to Portland. I mean, there's like 350, 400 miles north to south, and then people come all the way from Idaho, like Coeur d'Alene, to meetings sometimes. So that's another 400 or 500 miles east. So Seattle really is kind of the hub because it's a port city. It's on the border with Vancouver. So Vancouver and Seattle are really hubs for everything, art, fish, imports, things like that. But our club GSAS is also a pretty good one that has a lot of YouTube links. And he didn't want to let every YouTuber start touring and then he'd have to say no to somebody. And I filmed it. I filmed most of what's on Dustin's channel. If you look at his interviews and tours there, um, but I also have my own film and pictures. But Dean has not okayed that. He only wants certain segments done. I think also, he works with Corey, so he gets money from Corey. With Bentley, he works with Bentley trading like rainbow fish and plants and gear and stuff. Um, I don't really have too much to offer him, in the way of getting his name out there. It's out there to fish nerds. The newer folks will find him through Aquarium Co-op. So, yeah, it was kind of a bummer. I wish I was able to share that with you guys, though. But hopefully, Rachel O'Leary, her interview with me will be coming out soon. We're going to be talking about the change in fish keeping and buying and selling fish specifically since before the internet. So, when you use the back page of magazines, of fish hobbyist and tropical fish enthusiast or whatever it is, aquarium magazine, um, Dennerley's uh, order guides and things, aquarium glazer. You could go, you write and you get this list, and you never see them. There's no internet, only see them in the magazine. So I really wanted to talk to her since she's been running a business for years about how that's changed and impacted an independent fish breeder. So there's a whole bunch of questions. There's like 2 hours worth of content that could be gone over. And Rachel and I have been talking like, well, I want to obviously share it with you guys who already know about me, but I was kind of hoping that her channel could get to know me a little bit too, like as we chat and talk about our experiences. As I was selling guppies before the internet had any place to do it, that kind of thing. I wasn't an adult. I was, whatever, 15, when the internet first got a place where people were doing that in the Planet Tanks forums and AOL chat rooms, where people were more trying to date nerdy people, like creepers were trying to date some like actual fish experts and nerds, and just annoying things. But there was email chains and things like that. There were bulletin boards and meetings, and clubs were so much more important in that way. So we want to talk about all that. I think there's a history there, a secret history that people forget about. I mean, we forget landlines are 20 years ago. I mean, I didn't have a cell phone in high school. Like, we forget how quickly technology society moves on, and that has impacted the hobby. I mean, that impacts how they do inventory, whether it's checked and scanned electronically and over Wi-Fi little scanner dealies. Any case, it's something that I want to talk about. And yeah, so Shelby Ray Lane, I was meaning to give you a wrench anyway. Come on, girl. Why is it not working? Work, 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 work. Hold on. Am I like cut off? Did I give out too many wrenches? Was 3 the limit? What is going on? Sorry guys, I'm just like staring dumbly into space. Bacon, now I want bacon. Yeah, why would you put bacon on the screen? You jerk. Green Blazer. The Zin Ginger. Man, you and Ginger Graves, you're gonna have to fight to the death over who gets the name. Shelby, why can I not get you a wrench? Get you your monkey wrench. Get you your monkey wrench. All right, well, as I'm trying to do this, or if I have to set it up next live stream, because, YouTube be tripping usually. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, I can feel that. Let's see here. Come on. No, I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, something did happen. Add moderator. Yeah! Woo! All right, we're good to go. So that should all be fixed now. Yay! Gray One Wah, hello. I hope you live in Grayland and you're not just really depressed and gray. Dreary, Eeyore, if you will. All right, guys, I am going to get out of here because it's been an hour and a half. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you all. You know, you guys, even if it's $1 on Patreon, I really appreciate it. I really, really do. It means a lot. I'm going to get out of here. I've enjoyed my time with you guys tonight. I would love you guys to comment on which regions you would like me to cover first in my Better Know a Drainage, which sounds like something you would do, like irrigating a wound. I'll come up with a better name for it. But I love all you wonderful people. Have a safe weekend. I will be back. I'll be back. And you are the sunshine in my life. I'm out of tune all of the time. But I'm gonna get going. My wife should be home anytime now. Thank you very much. So take care of your plants. Take care of your tanks. Don't worry about your nitrates unless they're like over 50 or 150. If you got plants, just chill. No big changes. And other than that, you know, take care of the people around you. Take care of yourself. Because if you can't do that, you won't be able to take care of your plants and your animals and your tanks and the wonderful people around you and in our fish fam community. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. If we all do that even halfway, I think we'll have a better life and the fish stream will continue. Thanks, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, check out my t-shirt line. Be adding more designs in the holidays. Also, if you need a light, if you need substrate, if you need TDS checking tools, regulators for your aquarium, I've got the cheapest but best quality that I've ever found on Amazon, linked in the description. I try to buy not from Amazon themselves per se, but from a store on Amazon. So that's what that's about. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Swim on. Have a wonderful evening, morning, day, wherever you are in the world. Just have good. Be good. That's good.